Hello everyone, I am Surrenderlot Reviews and I'm back, and I'm ready to look at some more Generation 1 Transformers. But before I get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if I can't convince you, perhaps this picture of my cat will convince you. And random fact about my cat society is that they decided to put a space colony on the sun. But without further ado, let's get into this. So, the first episode we're gonna look at is The Revenge of Bruticus, where Bruticus and the Combaticons are out for revenge. But without further ado, let's get into this. So, the episode starts out with this scene here.
I can't stand it! I can't stand it! This is a cosmic prison!
Shut up! If it weren't for you, Megatron wouldn't have banished us to this lousy asteroid! Where are you going? You can't make it back to Earth! You don't have enough power! Besides, this army has a mission!
You're too crude to accomplish anything!
I beg your pardon! My strategy is brilliant!
You're all military morons! Anything is better than being stranded with you idiots!
Anyways, so the Combaticons managed to actually make it to Cybertron. And they decide that while they're there, they're going to take over Cybertron, and they decide to just blast Shockwave off to space. And apparently they have a big plan to get revenge on Megatron, and by extension, the Earth. Meanwhile, on Earth, there's a bit of a pest problem in a city, but luckily the Autobots are there to exterminate all those pests. And, well, Shockwave ends up actually bumping into Starscream, quite literally. And they both go to Cybertron to more or less kick out the Combaticons. And Onslaught's plan to destroy the Earth and Megatron is, well, this here.
Decepticon technology has advanced considerably since we were imprisoned by Megatron. Perhaps the power of this device could be altered to effect our revenge on Megatron. Direct the movement of the planet Earth and send it on a direct course into the sun.
And, back on Earth, Optimus Prime gets the disturbing news that the Earth is in fact going to the sun. And he tries to get to the space bridge, but unfortunately, one of the Insecticons takes the control, and, well, now they have to go find it. Meanwhile, on Cybertron, Starscream and Shockwave end up successfully distracting the Combaticons, and they manage to retake the teleporter, but unfortunately, Starscream betrays Shockwave and contacts Megatron with this here.
Come in, Megabomb! Starscream! Acknowledge me as the new Decepticon leader, or I shall allow the Earth and you to fall into the sun!
You're bluffing, Starscream!
Check the thermometer, Megatron. I will rule the universe, even if I am the only one left in the universe! I'll be waiting for your answer, Megatron.
But unfortunately for Starscream, the Combaticons have figured out his plan, or more or less, that they have been had. And also, Shockwave wakes up, and the Combaticons end up coming in to break up the fight and just decide to throw both of them into prison. Meanwhile, on Earth, there is a lot more fires, as the Earth is getting a little toasty, and, well, both the Autobots and Decepticons have to team up to defeat Bruticus and stop the Earth from dying. And so, Optimus Prime and Megatron end up donating parts to repair the console, and they both end up going to Cybertron, and along the way, they end up freeing Starscream and Shockwave from the Combaticons' captivity. And while they are reuniting, the Combaticons interrupt their reunion, and the Autobots and Decepticons fight the Combaticons, and they end up doing pretty well at beating the Combaticons up until the Combaticons merge into Bruticus, and they need a way to take down Bruticus without really their own combiner, but luckily, Starscream had already thought of this.
There is!
Help us preserve the Earth, and I might preserve you.
I thought he might rebel, so I made sure to build in a fail-safe mechanism. There are 3 spots on his back. Hit them all and he's deactivated.
And as it turns out, Starscream is telling the truth, because, well, they end up shooting those 3 spots and Bruticus goes down. And Sideswipe manages to save the Earth from being a bit more toasty than usual. And the Autobots and Decepticons agree to destroy Bruticus because he is a bit too dangerous to be left alive. And so, the Autobots end up witnessing the destruction of Bruticus, and they are allowed to return to Earth. But Megatron, being Megatron, lied about having Bruticus being destroyed. And he wants to reprogram Bruticus to be a bit more loyal to him, and we all know that Bruticus is going to return and the episode ends. And overall, I will say that The Revenge of Bruticus is a really good episode and the perfect sequel to Starscream's Brigade. And I really like how the Combaticons just basically go off on their own after Starscream basically just tells them to go F off. And I really like how, at the end, it takes the combined efforts of the Autobots and the Decepticons to defeat Bruticus and to save the Earth. And it also shows that despite the fact that Megatron is power-hungry and basically only cares about himself, he also is willing to save the Earth, even if it's just for his benefit, which I really like. And I also really liked how the Combaticons managed to single-handedly take over Cybertron, which is something that Starscream has yet to do. And overall, I highly recommend this episode. One thing that I will say, but I don't really think that this is that bad, is kind of some parts it just shows off, kind of breaks up a bit of the pacing, is where we show a bit of the destruction that the Earth getting closer to the sun is causing. I think that it's good for one part, but not quite for like 2 per se, but that's just my minor nitpick. But I think with that, that's gonna do it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.